Fair Use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. May 22nd. Step 1. We ... The first word of the first step. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 21. When I was drinking, all I could ever think about was I, or me, me, me. Such painful obsession of self, such soul sickness, such spiritual selfishness bound me to the bottle for more than half my life. The journey to find God and to do His will one day at a time began with the first word of the first step, we. There was power in numbers. There was strength in numbers. There was safety in numbers. And for an alcoholic like me, there was life in numbers. If I had tried to recover alone, I probably would have died. With God and another alcoholic, I have a divine purpose in my life. I have become a channel for God's healing love. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, May 22nd. I used to think that if I ever looked carefully at myself, my secret fears would be confirmed. I'd see that I am hopelessly flawed and unworthy. Al-Anon has shown me that if I face the effects of alcoholism by working the steps, this belief will fade away. I'll see that the truth I've avoided is my own inner beauty. I am powerless to change the fact that alcoholism has affected my life. Only a power greater than myself can overcome the effects of this disease. I call upon that power for help with the second and third steps. These steps help me to trust that although the ground on which I stand may quiver, I will not fall, for I am held firmly by one whose will is not so easily overturned. Regardless of how shaky I may feel, I am safe. Such a spiritual foundation makes a truly searching and fearless moral inventory possible. Only when I risk taking a close look at myself can my fears give way to the truth. As a child of God, I am all I need to be, loving, lovable, and splendid. Today's reminder. Today I will take some time to strengthen my relationship with my higher power. This will bring me closer to seeing the truth as my ally and recognizing my inner loveliness. There is a quote by Louise L. Hay, and it reads, I now choose to rise above my personality problems, to recognize the magnificence of my being. I am totally willing to learn to love myself. Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 22nd. Symptoms of a Spiritual Awakening. The steps lead to an awakening of a spiritual nature. This awakening is evidenced by changes in our lives. Basic text, page 49. We know how to recognize the disease of addiction. Its symptoms are indisputable. Besides an uncontrollable appetite for drugs, there's suffering exhibit self-centered, self-seeking behavior. When our addiction was at its peak of activity, we were obviously in a great deal of pain. We relentlessly judged ourselves and others and spent most of our time worrying or trying to control outcomes. Just as the disease of addiction is evidenced by definite symptoms, so is a spiritual awakening made manifest by certain obvious signs in a recovering addict. We may observe a tendency to think and act spontaneously, a loss of interest in judging or interpreting the actions of anyone else, an unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment, and frequent attacks of smiling. If we see someone exhibiting symptoms of a spiritual awakening, we should be aware that such awakenings are contagious. Our best course of action is to get close to these people. As we begin having frequent, overwhelming episodes of gratitude and increased receptiveness to the love extended by our fellow members, and an uncontrollable urge to return this love, we'll realize that we too have had a spiritual awakening. Just for today, my strongest desire is to have a spiritual awakening. I will watch for its symptoms and rejoice when I discover them. Today, Emotions Anonymous, May 22nd. Reflection for today. There are times when my anger is enjoyable and almost fun, particularly when I feel I have been treated unfairly. I relish feeling sorry for myself and love to go over and over in my mind the grievances done to me. I perform a play mentally and plan the bitter confrontation soon to come. I play both roles and write the script for the wrongdoer and the wronged. I enjoy the taste of the words I'm going to use. I don't sleep well while I'm rehearsing this mental play, and soon I am angry with myself and the whole world. That is when the fun stops. That is when the truth sets in. That is when I realize I am hurting only myself. The person I have lost sleep over has been sleeping soundly all the time. That is the time when I start praying for the person I am angry with. Meditation for today. Help me to plan a mental script which uses the words, I forgive you. Today I will remember, anger is an emotion I cannot nurture. It costs me my serenity. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. May 22nd. Learning to thrive. We learned to keep our thoughts and desires close to our hearts. BRB, which means Big Red Book, page 431. As we grew up, it was not safe to share any part of us. When we risked being vulnerable and letting people know what we wanted, we were shamed and ridiculed, made to feel stupid for having needs at all, let alone dreams. Our struggles may have been as basic as having to keep our own clothes clean or finding food to eat. We put all our energy into surviving. By the time we were done, we had no energy to claim our birthright, the ability to dream. Today, we nurture ourselves by deciding what we want the universe to send us, because we're open to the possibility that we can have those things. We allow ourselves to swim around in the scent of promise. We deserve it.